Hi everyone, I'm Peso and welcome to the 6th quick review on the channel. Man, it's been a little while since I've done that intro. Anyway, if you're new here, this series is where I grab whatever's interesting on my desk and I make a review on it. I've been trying to make these mostly unscripted with just a couple of notes, so hopefully you get a good idea of what I'm thinking about the cube in a more unfiltered way. So yeah, this is the GAN 11M Pro and I'll just unbox it so you can see what you get. It's pretty standard GAN things. You get a card, the box. I actually think this is the best GAN box that they've made. It springs open and the best part is the little rubber stopper that stops the cube from rattling around. In here I've just taken them out already to make it a bit easier. You get the blue GAN bag and you get the adjustment tools, which I will get into later because that's quite a big part of this whole saga that I went through with this cube. Anyway, this cube costs $40 US, which is the same as the GAN V100 MagDrive UV. It weighs 63 grams, which is one less than the V100, and it's 1 millimeter bigger. So I measured at 56.2 millimeters, whereas this is 55.2. It has adjustable magnets and it has a compression system. It's the old one from the GAN XS, which means that you can use the tool to change the compression, but you have to swap out the nuts to get the different axis distances. So yeah, that's about it in terms of the specs of the cube. I'll get into how it feels and then I will move on to the problems that I have with this whole new batch thing and how they were solved. Yeah, so this cube, in terms of the feel, it's much blockier than the V100, but it's quite stable. I wouldn't say it's quite as blocky as, say, an RS3M V5, but it's nearly there and it's quite a stable cube. The feel is halfway between the XS and the 12, so it's soft and smooth, but it's slightly papery. It's pleasantly light and hollow and it feels very well built, even better than the V100, like the tiles don't quite flex as much. It's relatively quiet, which is something that can't be said about the V100. And yeah, I just generally enjoy turning it because it's very light and fast. Lots of people have said that this cube is slow, but I actually got it pretty quick. Like it does U3s consistently, even on the strongest magnet setting. The only problems it does have is that it gets small catches and it's pretty snappy. So if I'm turning inaccurately, I get a lot of feedback from the cube and it really yeah, it just snaps into place. The corner cuts don't feel the nicest, but when I'm turning accurately, it's really quite good. Okay, so in terms of the batch changes, I'll just start with the changes and not the problems. So the most obvious one are these corner magnets. So you can see that this is a blue magnet with a cap on it. Before it used to be a non-capped magnet which had a triangle or a hexagon on it. And for anyone that does buy this cube, the blue magnets are the stronger ones. The other change is that the core magnets are now flush with their housing. So before they used to be a shorter magnet. This one, I think they increased the magnet size by about 1 millimeter, so now it's flush and that makes it stronger. That being said, I don't know whether the old corner magnets were stronger, in which case then it would balance it out, but that's just something to note. Now onto the problems I have with this cube. So you can probably see here, and you probably saw in the thumbnail, that this cube has white centers and black pieces. So what happened was when I received the cube, it was extremely tight, as in dark blue 4, which is supposed to be the loosest setting, barely corner cut, and I could barely pull the pieces apart. I tried adjusting it and it was impossible, almost impossible to push down on the nuts and turn to unlock them. So I knew something was wrong there. And shout out to Jules at the Cubicle for helping me out and sending these over for free. So yeah, Cubicle customer support, very good. They diagnosed the issue and sent me a whole new core and these new centers. And so I was able to put these old batch primary centers onto my new core with the new springs and nuts, and now it works completely fine. My theory is that the centers on the new batch black cubes, at least, I don't know about the white ones, have a bit of a problem where the bottom is too thick and there's not enough space between the nut and the center. Sorry if that's not making much sense. That was the extent of the problems I have with this cube. Some people have mentioned that maybe these new corner magnets cause problems because they're deeper or they catch on the core. I actually don't think that is the case. They are extremely close, but that was really present on the old ones as well. And I'm not feeling any catches coming from that. The main problem I had with the black centers that I had on here was that when I did a thumb push F or anything that caused the center to the corner to do that to the center, it had a really sharp snap as it went past. That is gone with these old batch centers. So yeah, I don't think the catching is coming from the core magnets. I think it's coming from the centers. Yeah. Otherwise, really good cube. Would I buy it? Probably not. As in, if you were looking for a new cube, I probably wouldn't buy this because you might have to go through the hassle of getting these new centers. Because if you buy one of these off like Amazon and you get a new batch, you basically get an unusable cube. That being said, I really do enjoy turning this, and I do think I will put it into my S tier on my tier list. I've been thinking about the tier list a bit more, and I've come up with a new visual. It's the turning enjoyment versus getting good times graph. And this sort of actually goes quite far up into the top right corner. So that means the turning enjoyment is maybe not quite optimal because I do get catches, but my times are pretty good on this. So yeah, it's for a personal tier list like mine, which isn't really about pure performance. It also takes into account feel and basically just what I think about the cube. I think it makes sense to make it into more of the turning enjoyment versus good times tier list, if that makes any sense. There's been a bit of a reshuffle, so I think I'll bump the VIN 3 down to the A tier, just because if we're evaluating it based on the new graph, I enjoy it, but not as much as some other cubes, and my times are not amazing on it. I still think it's a good cube. It's just that I sort of forgot about it because it doesn't make me want to cube that much more. It doesn't have any performance issues, it's just not exciting to me. So that's why it's been bumped down. And that's actually what made me bump down the TV4 in the last video. But yeah, other than that, everything else is mostly the same. I'll point out in the visual if I've changed anything. I guess while we're here, I should also compare this thing to the V100 since they're same price, same manufacturer. So yeah, as I said before, this is a much, the 11M Pro is a much more blocky cube than this. This is very loud, you can probably hear it. It's just like that compared to the 11M Pro. And yeah, this, I don't think this will appeal to as many people as this, because this has stronger auto alignment, it's more fluid, it doesn't snap as much. It's got UV coating, so I mean, if you don't want this, you can spend a bit less and get the matte version. I personally like how fluid it is and how just generally usable and like it sort of just gets out of the way. It feels really nice, it's very responsive. And that's not to say that this isn't very responsive, but it does get in your way more, and that's like the main thing I'm looking for when I use a cube. And that's part of why I've really been enjoying the RS3M V5. This is a cube that gets out of my way. I can turn, do practice sessions on this, and it sort of just works. I get good times, it's stable. Nothing about it is saying I need a new cube, other than the weird feel. This cube is nearly there, it's just that those tiny little catches and like frequent snapping make it not quite main worthy for me. That being said, it's a unique feel, and it's something that you just don't get it with these new GAN cubes. I think it's worth picking up if you have the time to deal with the QC issues with these weird batches, but otherwise, yeah, it is still a lot of money. and I would probably recommend just steering away from this and going for something else or something cheaper like this. And yeah, that's it for this one, and I'll see you in the next one.